entertainment was actually entertaining? When comedy was about being funny, movies were about telling great stories, and you didn't need a political lecture every time you hit play. Great entertainment still exists, it's just getting harder to find. Even the biggest streaming platforms leave audiences disappointed. That's why there's Studio TST, pure entertainment, real comedy, independent films, bold creators, movies, comedy, music, and more, and the home of fearless sketch comedy. That show tonight, entertainment the way you want it. Funny, creative, unapologetic, and agenda-free. Studio TST, the future of entertainment starts here. Join Studio TST today for just $5 a month.
Hello, friends. Do you have a moment so that we may discuss our Lord and Savior Minarchy? No, seriously, I'm just kidding. Hi, my name's Rick Robinson. I am the general manager of KLRNradio.com. We are probably the largest independent podcast network that you've never heard of. We have a little bit of everything, and by that, what I mean to tell you is we have news, pop culture, special events, conspiratainment, true crime, mental health shows, drama productions, and pretty much everything in between. So if you're looking for a new podcast home to grab a little bit of everything that you love all in one place, come check us out. You can find us on X under @KLRNradio. You can find us on our Rumble and our YouTube channels under the same names. You can also find us at KLRNradio.com and pretty much every podcast catcher known to man. So again, feel free to come check us out anytime you like at KLRNradio.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
And good evening, happy Thursday evening to everyone out there. This is KLRN, and this is your early introduction for the weekend, your Thursday sneak preview. This is Disasters in the Making. How's everyone doing? I'm Brad Slager, getting ready to usher you through some of the dark alleyways of Hollywood here with our Bad Movie Podcast. And I said we because joining me every fortnight on this venture from the fair state of Florida, like myself, is Paul Young. What's going on, Paul?
Brad, I'm going to need Rick to just stop what we're doing and play that song again, and just allow it to continue until its conclusion. Just like they did in the movie. They played the whole 3.5-minute song in the movie twice.
Oh yeah, this is yes. What we're talking about here is something glorious. What Paul and I have been in the middle of, because this is summer blockbuster season, so we decided on the show here we are going to honor our 5, just, you can't say worst, you can't say best, these are all absolutes, but these are movies we are enshrining into our Mount Rushmore of films. We're going to be doing 5 altogether. This is our 3rd, and this one's special, at least for a couple of reasons. Paul may disagree, of course, but one of them being that this is a very Florida-specific film.
I mean, very Florida-specific. I mean, so Florida specific down to the T-shirts that these gentlemen are wearing during the movie.
Excuse me, Paul. Excuse me. That I am wearing currently.
Look, Brad, I don't turn my camera on with you anymore. We've made that mistake one time, so I can't see what you're wearing anymore.
I have a deep red Dragon Sound T-shirt.
I saw that in the tweet, and I'm jealous of you. I have a rad T-shirt. Does that count?
It'll work. It'll work because we are definitely going to immerse ourselves in Florida in the 1980s, in the martial arts, a little bit of everything going on here. We are talking about an absolute gem of cinema that is called Miami Connection. Not the Miami, just it's Miami Connection. They dropped the modifier, so they're serious about this.
I think the Miami Connection would have been a better title for this movie. I don't know why.
I disagree because as titles for movies go, Miami Connection is rather tangential because this is I'd say 92% of the film takes place in Orlando. So
yeah, there's a little bit outside of Orlando, but it's like it's near Enterprise, Florida, I guess that's over just east or just east or west of Orlando.
And plus the University of Central Florida, which is positioned just on the north side of Orlando. So we're in the Orlando Metroplex, as it were.
And UCF is, it is predominantly displayed in this movie.
Oh yeah, and I'll just say this too. My daughter attended said university, and when visiting one time, mandated that we walk the commons and find the actual area where the martial arts training took place.
Oh my gosh! When you say training,
well, martial arts display. It's kind of curious how to address this, but there's another reason why this thing is so predominant and being etched into our mountainside, and that is there's a number of movies out there like this that are literally unearthed, like completely escaped from public purview and just about sank into obscurity without anybody knowing about it for the most part, and then it got resurrected blissfully. Mm-hmm. I think Manos Hands of Fate had a similar enterprise too, where it would just disappear, and then it, bad movie buffs said, "What in the living hell is this?" and tracked down copies and got prints of it.
This one showed up at the Alamo Draft House at some point, right?
Yeah, the story there is the program director of Alamo. This is before they became a national entity. They were just at Austin, Texas. They were, a niche movie theater that catered to all kinds of tastes, and they had, bad movie nights. They had, different, like drive-in nights and things of this nature too, as well as some first-run, not major films, but like film festival fair and stuff like that. Alamo is basically for movie buffs, not mainstream necessarily. So
the best way to describe the Alamo Draft House would be like the physical form of the Ain't It Cool News website from back in like the late 90s and early 2000s. If you knew about it, it's because you were deep into the scene. If you just was a regular person, you had no idea this was even a thing.
I'd describe Alamo, the original incarnation at least, as the college radio equivalent of a movie theater.
Yeah.
Where it was the people that were deeply, the cine-ass, the people that, get Criterion Collection DVDs and stuff like that, the people that take their movies cinema seriously. And then at the same time, they have whack job offerings as well, midnight movies and stuff like that. So they cater to all kinds of tastes there. And their program director was actually surfing on eBay looking for prints, to fill in one of their, to their library, for these type of genre presentations. And he stumbles upon this one ad, this one account, I guess, had all kinds of original 35 millimeter prints. And as he's scrolling through the list they had, he comes across a title called Miami Connection. He's like, I've never heard this. And he did some research, couldn't find anything about this movie. and the guy was offering, it was a 5-reel canister set for $40, 35 millimeter print film. And he's like, okay, what the hell? I'll take a flyer on it. And one of the programs they had there at Alamo, at least at the time, they called it First Reel. And this was for like almost their VIP customers. They would come in and watch 20 or 30 minutes of a movie. They would just show literally the first reel of a film. And they would show 4, maybe 5 in a night, and then get a reaction, who wants to see more. And he said when they played Miami Connection, the whole place was like, keep it going. We want reel 2, put the whole thing on it, that kind of reaction. And so they realized they might have struck some gold here for $40. I can't believe, I used to work at the Art House Theater in Fort Lauderdale. I think shipping on 5 reels cost more than $40. So
yeah, they're huge because these are when they used to use the phrase "it's in the can." They literally meant a big old metal can to protect the.
Yeah, this is the
solenoid.
The way it gets heavy. Yeah, with the way they ship those to theaters, it came in it was a 6-sided, not quite an octagon, but a 6-sided flip case, metal hard case in which the 4 reels would fit in. And at a theater, you would take out the reels, you would have to splice them together and put them on the huge platen. That's like the size of a coffee table. And then that would feed the completed film into your projector, onto the screen, yada, yada. And so, yeah, if you're getting a 5-reel 35 millimeter print for $40, I mean, if you watch it one time, I think you're coming out ahead of the game.
How much can you put in one of those tins?
The boxes are different size. So, they have like a 3-reel size that's narrower, some at 5 or more. And if it was a longer movie, you would get 2 delivered, that kind of thing. So the metal cases had different sizes.
So they were fit. So I'm looking it up because I like to Google. And so 35 millimeter film and five of those would be about 2,000 feet, and it would weigh 50 to 60 pounds. That's how much this film weighed. That's nuts. That would be super expensive.
Like we would get a back door where they would deliver, and whenever they came in, you'd get 2, maybe 3 at a time, and you got to haul them upstairs, and then you flip it open, put them into the splicing apparatus, feed it onto the platen, that kind of thing. That was like an afternoon, prepping for the weekend broadcast and such.
It's crazy. Oh, keep going. There's more.
No, for them to get a full movie for $40 was amazing. So he had a movie that it wasn't on IMDb. Internet research was scant. He had like a couple of names and such that were on the canisters, and he tracks down the originator, the creator of the movie, which takes him to Orlando, Florida.
Predominantly displayed throughout the film.
This would be where an individual by the name of YK Kim, short for Young Kun Kim, was basically the creative force behind this. He is a Taekwondo master, still plying his trade in Orlando, by the way. He has not just a studio, but a major, Taekwondo complex. And he's also a motivational speaker. People come in and he'll sit and speak to 40, 50 people at a time on, bettering your life. He's actually, I dug some research myself. This guy's actually a figure in Orlando. Local authorities and politicians and stuff are like, oh, YK, we love him. He's so, big in the community.
He ran an after-school Taekwondo program, and I guess it's very popular with the children, the kids, and the police, and all those other people. He somehow got to be super popular with a bunch of bikers. There's a bunch of bikers in the movie, and the scene with the bikers is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But 100 bikers, I think he paid them in beer. That's how much money he had for the scene. He paid them in beer, and then like 100 of them showed up at the movie's premiere.
So
he just got liked. He didn't even need. Most of his shooting was done guerrilla style, except guerrilla style generally means that you're doing it without anybody knowing. But the city seemed to know that he was doing it and didn't care, and gave him permission to film like in all these random locations where you would normally need permits and stuff like that to work. And they did not charge him a dime. They just said, "Yeah, we like YK. Come on, do whatever you want to." All right.
So the entire genesis of this starts off where YK actually showed up on a Korean talk show that was called Meet at 11 p.m. That's kind of a rough translation. I don't know the actual title, but while making an appearance talking about Taekwondo, because he is a martial arts master of Taekwondo, and you can see it in the film. This guy knows his stuff. His physicality, he's legit. You can just see it. And a film director in Korea by the name of Richard Park caught the episode and was pretty fascinated. Pretty much had in mind that he might have a Jackie Chan Korean style on his hands. So reaches out to YK, tells him he wants to do a movie. And understand this about YK Kim, at least in the 1980s, could barely speak English, has never made a movie in his life. I think he's only seen like 6 motion pictures, they said. Like, this is how divorced he is from filmmaking. He's barely seen movies, let alone made them. And decided he would go ahead and do just about everything in this production, write the story, things of that nature, without the exception of directing. Richard Park hung on for directing. And we actually have some competent direction at times, I'll say. Set design, lighting, and stuff looks rather professional.
Well, unlike the last movie that we covered, they had budget to film at night.
Yes, exactly. Lighting was actually prominent in this one.
The acting was not. Look,
No.
He clearly had an idea of what it is he was trying to accomplish, but I don't. Did he end up editing this thing himself? Because the tale is told in a way visually that makes zero sense.
I would believe it because this does look like it was edited with a chainsaw.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is old school editing, right? This is snip and spin. You pull it through, snap it, then tape it, then glue it, and then move it, and then do it again. This is a crazy cut kind of situation, and sometimes the cuts are like so weird inside of the scene itself. It's not just from scene to scene, but inside the actual scene when you break down what's happening, it gets to be so convoluted.
Yeah, there's a lot of plot. Well, I can't say that. There's not a lot of plot, but the connective tissue in this just really isn't there. But you go with it. Here's the thing. This is not a good film by any kind of quality measure, and yet you really get a sense. There was like enthusiasm to make this. You could see that those involved, although amateurish, were heartfelt about what they were doing. And for somehow that comes across.
Kim made this movie like a 12-year-old on cocaine. It's just we're gonna open with ninjas. I'm in. All right, and then we're gonna move on to a rock band playing rock music and doing karate and taekwondo on the stage. I'm in. Then we're gonna include a biker gang for no reason. In. And then after that, we're gonna do some more karate practicing. There, I'm still in. Then we're gonna go eat. All right, I'm with you. And then after we eat, we're going to take a weird beach cruise. Yep, still with you there. Then more ninjas. All right, and then a final battle with ninjas and swords. What does that got to do with Taekwondo? It doesn't matter, Brad. It doesn't matter. We just keep going with it. It's funny because that's the way it comes across, right? It's just like a prepubescent teen just deciding what he wants to do. And this movie actually debuted in Orlando. They actually did a review of it, and they called it one of the worst films of 1988, and I have to take exception. I have to take exception with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not the worst film of 1988. It can't be.
Bring it. What do you got?
Who said this? The Orlando Sentinel called it the worst film of 1988, and I don't understand how they can say that when movies like Arthur 2 on the Rocks, My Stepmother is an Alien, Police Academy 5, Caddyshack 2, frickin' Mac and Me. Look here, I'm not even. I'm just getting started. Mystic Pizza, something called Tapeheads. Remember that one? That was terrible.
Yeah.
Let's go with Crocodile Dundee 2, Friday the 13th, The New Blood, Young Einstein, Short Circuit 2, Halloween 4, Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
Young Einstein.
Brad, I mean, I'm just, some of those are off the top of my head. Those are all from 1988. Orlando Sentinel, I don't think you're doing your job properly.
No. This now, by all means, this is not quality movie, but this is one of the two types of bad films I love. My first one is the big budget star-filled blockbuster that fails. Like Supergirl, that kind of thing. Where a shit ton of money is thrown at it with big names and everything else, and it absolutely collapses into itself like a black hole star. Those are my favorite.
Yes.
The others are movies of this nature where you just have absolutely no logic at all behind its creation, and yet it exists.
And so people don't know how bad the movie actually is until someone gets a chance to watch it. But then by that point, the hate for the film has turned into some sort of critical love. It's now a cult darling only because of how bad it is. And people think, oh, well, these guys must think we're making fun of them. But the thing is, we're not. We are reveling in it with them. We're along for the ride and the journey. We're mocking James Gunn and everybody that was involved in Supergirl. We are absolutely making fun of everybody who did Superman 4 and other movies that take themselves so seriously that you can't help but hate them for even doing so. These guys are here, man. Look, you made a movie. You did something we could never do. You sat down, you wrote a script, you managed to get a cast of characters together to come down and do this thing on your own dime, almost bankrupt yourself just to have it to go into obscurity. Bravo, friend. I respect the crap out of you.
Oh, yeah. Kim put up his own money. He had friends donating to him. He leveraged all his credit cards. He mortgaged his Taekwondo business to fund this thing. It appeared on a total, I think they said, of 3 screens in the Orlando area. And
that's impressive.
They said that he shopped this to nearly 100 distributors and not a single one of them would bite, with some of them telling him, destroy the print. This thing is unwatchable.
Wow.
Not just the majors, but he went to Lionsgate and then all the independents and then all the small scale distributors to put it in regional theaters and drive-ins and stuff. And everybody uniformly said, no. So,
well, you know why? He was ahead of his time. If he had released a movie of this nature, let's say 2020, 2021, well, it could have gone direct to streaming, or even back in the late 90s, if you had done something in the 90s with it, it could have gone straight to video, and then it would have been absorbed into the system. And truthfully, we may not have even known about it had it happened in that nature. It's the story about its discovery that makes it the most interesting. It's not the movie making part of it itself, because by and large, the making of this film is sort of blasé, right? It's just a bad movie done with it's essentially a low budget. I mean, he paid $1 million roughly to make it, so that's a large number, but for a movie, it's not very big. I think he just came out at the wrong time. He comes out now, I think we love it.
No, I would dare say that this has now turned a profit, and I think Mr. Kim has actually realized some residuals. I'm sure Alamo worked with him in some capacity, just to recompensate some of his effort there. And again, when I'm talking about those massive studio failures, I love those because these are people with talent, with experience. They've got resumes. They shelled out a crap ton. You have hundreds working on them. Like Jupiter Ascending, that movie is so absolutely. I am absorbed in it because of how bad it is, and all of the money is right there on screen.
And the number of people, and the directors, and the producers, and the studio behind it.
It's just, that's an amazing failure to me. This is more along the lines of somebody putting their heart and soul into something and failing. I'm not ripping on them. I'm ripping on the result. It's not a good movie, but it's still enjoyable because, like we say frequently here, to really appreciate bad movies, you have to first have an appreciation of good film. You have to know why they're bad. You have to understand what makes it subpar and below the high water mark and all of that. And you can then enjoy it in that capacity, whether it's camp value, whatever. It's something to enjoy because of that. And, like the last films we did, I don't want to say there's cynicism with them, but it's like they're them coming in with a bit of swagger, like this is going to get me into Hollywood, and failing. I don't think YK Kim had those kind of dreams.
No, this is a one and done type of situation for him.
Yeah,
which is why everything was filmed on location in and around the city that he grew up in, or that he lived in and loved. I don't think if he was going to go traveling about and filming at multiple locations, then I think at that point he's trying to break into the movie industry. I think you're right. He wasn't doing that. He just
like with Champagne and Bullets, like we covered. He was desperately trying to get into Hollywood. I'm just going to do a scene where I recite Shakespeare for no damn reason outside of proving to them I can memorize lines. It was like that kind of thing. That's not YK Kim. This was like him and his buddies at the dojo that he cast. Literally, these are like his students and disciples in the film. Let's make a Taekwondo movie. I think it was almost like him proselytizing for the martial arts more than it was, him becoming a star.
It did, but what's funny is so most of the guys that are in the movie that are in the band that are rolling about, they're his students. They're like actual students from his dojos. Are they called dojos? Is it a dojo for Taekwondo?
I'm just going to go with it because of white privilege.
Yeah. I took Tang Soo Do. I studied Tang Soo Do for about a year. I got my yellow belt, and then I felt like that's as far as I needed to go.
I thought I had that for takeout last week.
Yeah. You remember Pax Karate? Old Mr. Pax Karate? That's where I took it from, old Tang Soo Do. But
yeah, you are a belted reviewer. How about that?
I was kind of surprised that he did not try to get free advertising or free location shoot. Well, I guess he did get free location shooting for most of the places he went to. But I'm surprised he didn't get hey, I'll put your name prominently in this scene if you want to pay me some money to help film in this location. So,
I think the only time I saw that was one of the scenes at the house where he had on a Guitar House shirt. It was like some small scale guitar company, and maybe they were the ones that provided the axes for them to use on stage. Possibly.
Yeah.
That's about it, though. But that's the whole thing. This wasn't about him. I don't think this wasn't a self-aggrandizing effort. It didn't feel like it, at least. And this comes through. So it's not quality filmmaking, but at the same time, you get this. There's just this energy, this vibe that runs through it that kind of absorbs you. You're just like, all right, I'm on board with you guys. They're having fun. Why the hell can't I have fun with them? And
right. Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because it's so weird because the acting ranges from those who cannot act and it shows brutally to those who want to act but can't, which shows brutally, to those who don't know what they're doing and completely overact, which shows brutally. There's there's three different ranges of acting in this thing. And the overdub when they're on the beach of Daytona, driving up to the beaches of Daytona, and they're yelling at the women, and and they're like, look at those booties, or the overdubbing is so terrible. Like it doesn't even match up. I'm just like, this is good stuff right here.
Well, let's get into the plot if we can. There's a remarkable aspect of this too, because I'm taking notes throughout the film, of course, like I usually do. And I'm about halfway through this movie. It dawned on me that I don't know anybody's name.
I got
it didn't
Jeff.
Matter.
Yeah, I got Jeff. I got John.
Mark, which came as a complete surprise to me. And there is Jim.
And Jim is the guy that is like the main character that the story follows, but you don't realize it till near the end of the film. His whole story
they
rolls
kind of
around.
spring that on us.
Yeah, it rolls around Jim and his father, and then and not until you see this dude that's about the same age as Jim with spray paint gray in his hair, saying that he's Jim's dad.
It's like Jim becomes the moral center of our picture, and it's like, wait, I didn't even know we were doing this.
Yeah.
We have cocaine ninjas. Why do we need? Where's this coming from? But okay, melodrama time. But
Cocaine
yes,
Ninjas sounds like a great title for a movie, by the way.
I mentioned cocaine ninjas, so we should get into it, shan't we? So the movie, appropriately enough, opens somewhere in Miami. I'm going to guess in the port area based on the setting, but I can't pin down an exact location. Could be further inland, could be somewhere on Miami River even, but near the water, which doesn't help much when you're in South Florida. Trust me on that. And I'm not sure who these guys are, but I'm just going to go and call them the Chess King Mafia. We have two factions of a criminal syndicate meeting up, and every single one of them is wearing a three-piece suit. Or I should say a two-piece. There's not a lot of vests on display here. These are the light action sport coats that were all the rage in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Not too many natural fibers to be found. Unique patterns here and there. Not quite houndstooth, but you had almost like that television interference pattern on a lot of these coats. Everybody's in a coat at night for a drug deal. There's a number of Panama hats being worn, I guess, by the henchmen that are the leaders.
Have you never been to a drug deal, Brad? That's how one dresses.
Well, I have, but not in the 1980s at the time. I was still in school, so I was an apprentice. Yeah, I had to go sit in the truck back then, so I wasn't really front and center for these. But it's difficult to pin down who these people are, who I'm talking about, who I'm referring to. They're two very large groups of mob-like individuals, but I'm at a loss as to what I can tell you because not a single one of these people speak. I mean, it's remarkable that an organized drug transaction can take place of this magnitude, and like they'll put the drugs on the table and then they point at somebody and call them. That brings them over. Then they nod. Then they open the box. Then they hand something. Never a word spoken.
I don't know if I've ever seen such powdery cocaine in my life.
Yes.
It is powdery. Like every time they set down a bag of it, it must be powdered sugar. It has to be. But every time they do, it poofs up like somebody's beating a rug out on a fence post. You know what I mean? It's like.
I like when the guy was sampling it, to test the purity. He takes a switchblade and jabs it in there to the point I swear it was going to go through his palm. And then, usually they just dab it and they put a little bit on the tip of their finger. No, he sinks his finger in and sucks on it. And I thought he was going to start like doing a wine review. That's very nice bouquet. It's got some caramel overtones and the aftertaste really comes through.
Is that cardamom? Do I taste cardamom?
This is barrel aged, isn't it? This is some good stuff. Wow.
I haven't had anything like this since, I'm going to say Woodstock.
Now, all the while that these guys are doing this transaction, we have a cadre of ninjas approaching onto the scene too. And this is how good they are. Nobody heard them coming because nobody was speaking and they still didn't hear them. That's how good these ninjas were. But I had to laugh at this. It took a while to put it together, but while the transaction was developing and we saw the people coming in, we also saw a fleet of like 70 motorcycles, or 20, maybe it's a better number, approaching the scene. Those were the ninjas. So the
Cocaine Ninja Motorcycle Club. I mean, I don't understand how that's a problem.
Well, these guys are trained in stealth and quiet approach, and yet they're riding up on Harleys to the location, which you can pretty much hear from a couple miles away for the most part. But full disclosure, I'm not trained as a ninja, so I can't say. Maybe they had silencers on the mufflers or something. I don't know. But they're creeping up on the scene, and then they gradually start picking off all of the individuals. We see throwing stars. We see katanas used and other various forms. And they basically infiltrate this whole thing and take over the drugs. Well, most of them.
And then when they take them, they're just laying on like the guy picks up a couple of bags and shoves them inside of his shirt.
There's like a couple boxes of these drugs, and they were hidden underneath, I don't know what, like bags of hockey chips or something, which I thought was hilarious. Like they opened the box up and there it is, a bunch of, bagged snack foods. You're not shipping these. You're giving them to other bad guys. You don't have to hide the cocaine. There's no need for disguise here, guys. But they do.
Well, the ninjas were said there's three teams of bad guys in this thing, right? There's the sellers, the buyers, and the stealers.
Right.
And the ninjas are, of course, the stealers.
Ninjas had hijacked a drug deal, is what happened here. But what I love too is they grab all the boxes and take off, and then they left like 4 bags sitting out in the open on the 4 kilos they left behind. Again, not a trained ninja, but you might want to grab them, take them with. Maybe I thought it was the whole point of this. But then the next day, we see them at I don't know, what do you call the Japanese huts where they train? Pagodas. I don't know if it's an actual
dojos.
Sure, let's go with that.
It's actually Alex Dickinson. I think it's Alex Dickinson or Alex Dixon Park. I looked up a bunch of these locations. Azalea Park at Langford Park.
Well, they
that was the actual place.
They basically, we see them riding up on the motorcycles the next day, and they go to this place and they're turning the coke over to their leader. One of those prominent character whose name I probably should have been told at some point in time, but I'm just going to go with Head Ninja.
Yeah, White Ninja, I think.
Yeah, he's always dressed in white while everyone else is in black at nighttime. He was, during the whole thing, he was like perched on some overhead beam.
Yeah, I want to say he was Yoshido. There's no IMDb has zero on this man. It has zero to nothing. There's only a couple of pictures with a few people on it and from this movie. But some people are just called Ninja, First Ninja. Yeah, I'm like, how am I supposed to know who you are, son? But
he was one of the 30 guys with his face covered. That's who that was.
Well, he's the only one with a name. So it's C. Yi Joe, S-I space Y space J-O. C. Yi Joe. And he played a character called Yoshido. So I'm going to say that the White Ninja was Yoshido. I will say this, as far as ninja movies go, I watched, last week I watched G.I. Joe Origins, Snake Eyes Origins or whatever it was. G.I. Joe Snake Eye Origins. I watched that, and it's got White Ninja versus Black Ninja in it, and I would watch this movie again before I would watch that movie again.
Exactly,
like hands down. That's another one. That's one of those ones that they were literally trying to be a ninja movie, and it's like, how do you take one of the coolest characters in G.I. Joe and turn him into one of the most boringest, blandest films I've ever seen? And it's chock full of action. It's almost nonstop action across the board. And some of the action is really good, and some of the ideas are good, and you've got frickin' ninjas in it, and somehow you manage to make a boring film. That is talent at a different level.
Yeah, you need to almost work hard to fail at that level with that kind of money and such. Like here, we got a Taekwondo master that's never seen movies, let alone made one. It's understandable what happened there with G.I. Joe. I don't know. Come on.
Yeah.
But
and you don't even include Shipwreck or Alpine. No, get out of here. Bazooka. You can't get out of here.
Yeah, it's just a different realm that we're in right here. So case in point, drug deal goes down and suddenly we're just in Orlando. And the part I loved, it said a shot of the skyline, sort of, and it said Coral Gables Federal with the title card saying Orlando. Sorry, Coral Gables Federal is in Miami.
Well, don't forget the white ninja guy is super upset that they stole the cocaine, but did not take the money. So he cuts off one of the dude's heads. There's a lot of head chopping in this film. Lots of head chopping.
Well, that's kind of his method, right? But that fills the obligation where you have to show how villainous your bad guy is by killing his own henchmen. This is the ninja version of that. So he's bad. That told us everything right there we needed. So they go to Orlando now to sell the cocaine that they stole to a guy in a beard, and it took some effort to realize he's Jeff. The Orlando drug gang is headed by Jeff. That just doesn't feel right, but okay. Jeff's got a full beard, and I think he has more hair on his chest, which says something. And he's also very angry, and I can't figure this part out. He's extremely jealous of the female lead singer of the band in this movie, who's his sister.
Yes, he is very jealous of Jane.
She even says that at one point.
You got a John, Jack, Jim, Jane, Jeff, and and there's a Jinja. I'm sure there's a Jinja in here at some point. YK is loving the words with a J on it.
Okay, big alphabet appearance right there. I didn't even dawn on me. And that's because, again, like I said, I was probably an hour into this before it occurred to me, I got to learn some names here just for the sake of the show.
I didn't have to learn names. It's just like, hey, that's Booty Shorts 1, and that's going to be Hairy Chest 2. Then we're going to have Lead Singer 3. Then I'm going to have Jinja. That's who we're going to have.
No, it's like when you're watching a movie, it doesn't matter. You don't get, into characters or anything. It's just for the sake of our audience here that in order to describe who we're talking about, names become somewhat crucial. So, at least where we're directing you here. So,
by the way, I might get you a pair. I'm going to need to know the size because I might get you a pair of those shorts that they were wearing in most of these movies. Those nutter cutters that go right. Remember them things from? I mean, they're predominant throughout most of this movie. Everybody's wearing them, especially on the beach, and that who goes out to eat? Yeah, no, that's unsanitary. I'm not gonna lie.
They referred to them as running shorts back in the day, but
you better not run in them. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. If you do, you're going to be speaking like Jim throughout the rest of your life.
Or if you run in them, you're going to go to jail for indecent exposure because that's what's about to happen.
Yeah. Like the one guy in the diner when he's sitting down the whole time and he's fine, but all of a sudden he stands up in those and you're, whoa, what the heck? Like that was a jarring moment in the film. Guy's like 6'4". He's wearing shorts that belong on a woman half his size.
I thought it was a woman when it first stood up. I thought it was a woman in shorts. I'm like, oh, that does seem inappropriate for the location where you're currently at.
It's like definitely welcome to the 1980s, folks. So they're striking a deal here with Jeff, the bearded guy, and then instantly we cut to a nightclub where the Taekwondo synth rock band Dragon Sound is performing. Apropos of nothing. I mean, literally, it's just like bam, okay, music, and like Paul said, they performed the entire song. We're going to chew up some screen time here with this one.
Yeah. And it's fairly decently produced. Yeah. I mean, it's recorded well. It's shown well. It's filmed well, truthfully.
No, definitely. There's a touch of professionalism going on here. And this was the song that we played at the introduction, which is appropriately called Friends. No connection to the NBC sitcom, by the way. But the lyrics are all about friends. Friends together, we live together all the time, and we're high-fiving each other. And those are the lyrics. It's just all about how well we get along with each other is the theme. And this, I'm glad they had Dragon Sound on their shirts for the second performers. Nobody wore shirts in the first song, by the way. They're all bare-chested performers. And I had to laugh too, because this is a synth rock song with not a single guitar to be heard throughout it, even though they have 4 on stage. And then they finally have the one mullet guy show up with his guitar and do a bit of a guitar solo, but then it's right back to keyboards and electronic drums. And they have a female lead singer who doesn't sing. She's clapping, and this band could really be called Fist Bump. They love to do the fist bumps, to the extent that I'm wondering how they were playing their instruments to throw out part of the songs. It's like, wait, I'm hearing music.
It's 2026, Brad. It's Fist My Bump.
Oh, sorry. Fist maxing.
Little Project Hail Mary reference there.
I see what you did now. But so this is the band. They are these are our heroes. This is a Taekwondo group. This is also a synth rock band. They're also very close friends, and they're all orphans. Did I pick up on that?
Yeah, I think so.
So, and that I should be a plot point, I guess, later when we do Jim, the central emotional character we were talking about. But while they're performing, Jeff, the bad guy, shows up with a few of his henchmen and is very angry to see his sister on stage. That's like the root of his anger. What is she doing up there? It's like she's singing. Well, she's not really singing, because at one point when the lead was singing the song, she even walks up to the mic, and then he looks at her and she just turns around and walks back. But he's angry that he wasn't aware she's in the band, apparently, and he's pissed off that she's in the band. Why? Huh? But take our word for it, Jeff's angry. Now we do a smash edit to the next day, where same girl that was on stage is now parked behind a computer. This had to be a legitimate computer lab at the University of Central Florida. Oh,
yeah. The most of this is from the UCF. They let him film all over the campus.
Yeah.
And the campus is way different now, obviously, than it was back in 1987 when they filmed the movie. The buildings have changed. They've actually taken buildings down. They've put new property up.
Well, they actually say that UCF stands for Under Construction Forever.
Oh, UNF is You Never Finish. I know I didn't.
Okay. Got it. Come for the acronyms, folks. That's what we do here. So the computer lab is such that I even think the teacher was literally the computer teacher. And he's up there, pantomiming like he's teaching. Yes, and we got this up. Oh, and by the way, our computer team just got back. Let's give them a huge round of applause, guys. They came in 4th place. That has to be the most random reference I've heard in a movie in quite some time. I don't think I've ever heard anybody coming in 4th place at any kind of plot point in a film before. I just love that so much. Like, 4th place, really? Out of how many? 270? I might be impressed, but if there was like 12, maybe don't put that on your resume, though. It's like, we need a good programmer here, Tom, but it says you came in 4th. We really need like a top 3 if we're going to hire somebody for programming here. Our coders have to be in the bronze medal range.
Well, the club owner. Remember the club owner?
Yeah.
So that's William P. Young. I want to say the P stands for Paul. In my mind, it does, because it's the only thing that makes sense. But he actually wrote 2 of the songs for the movie.
He was the one, really.
He wrote Escape from Miami and Taekwondo Family. He wrote 2 of those. Against the Ninja and Friends was written by Angelo Giannuti and Kathy Collier, who plays Jane. So, and also Against the Ninja is a fantastic name for a song. You dare never go against the Ninja.
Yeah, this band has got some stones, I got to say, because they come out and they're not only anti-ninja, they sing about it to crowds.
Yeah. Don't
And
dare
then-
go against the ninja.
And then, in that song too, they like break repeatedly to fist bump and go, Taekwondo. It's like, and it sounds like take one. Like, what? Are you giving out free samples? What are you doing here? What? But this is a brassy group. They don't play. Yeah, we hate ninjas. What about it? What are you going to do about it? Sneak up on me in the middle of the night? I don't care. And while she's in the computer lab, the bass player, who I don't know his name because why bother, but let's just say tall, bad teeth guy, he's mugging like a simian in the hallway. He's like pounding his chest and making googly eye faces that she's cracking up about to meet her outside. It's like, dude, just wait for class to get over. All right. You don't have to sit there and mug like this, but okay. It's working on her. Who am I to complain? So they go arm in arm outside on the commons, walking around. And then her brother shows up with, I think, about 8 other vehicles packed with guys. I mean,
this movie loves its cars, but none of them are good. They drive around in that white hoopty with the.
I love that though.
It's a convertible. They drove it in the rain with the windshield wipers on and the top down.
Yeah, that's a throwback ragtop from the late 70s, I'm sure. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm going to say it. But her brother shows up with this crowd, like a massive crowd shows up to confront her because he finds out she's dating this guy from the band and yells at her about it. And even says, I'm mad, like, and punches him at one point. Why is she not allowed to date? I never get this explained. Nor do I have one of the henchmen in the background wearing a shirt that said Notre Dame at the University of Central Florida.
Yeah, I saw that too. Well, he's a transplant.
I guess that establishes him as a bad guy. F you and F your local college. I'm fighting Irish all the way, you son bitches. So he decks him, and this is really going to turn ugly, except this crowd of 30 people now gets confronted because for some reason the rest of the band shows up. I have no idea what the indication was, but they roll up in their ragtop and hop out. And our main guy, YK Kim, is there. Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. Somebody called him Mark later, and that freaked me out. I was like, wait, is he? Oh, he's Mark. Oh, got it now. Got it. And he doesn't speak English. Like, it was kind of a wide shot. I think the camera was like 20 feet away or something, and he's squared off with the guy, and he's mouthing off to him, except his mouth isn't moving, really. YK struggled a little bit with the English language. Just going to say, by the way, he's our writer and star of the film.
Yeah, a big star. He's very predominant, but I think he may have the fewest lines.
Possibly. And that's probably a good thing. They managed to basically get the crowd quelled up, and they break apart now, and everything's settled for the most part. Now, and again, hard edit, no explanation, but then Jeff is in Miami to meet with the Ninja Biker Gang to tell them, I don't like this guy dating my sister, and I don't like her singing on stage with this band. And so the Ninja Cocaine Biker Gang is going to do something on his behalf because of this. It just, I'm trying to piece that together. Meanwhile, we've got drama in Orlando. The prior house band that got fired because Dragon Sound was so damn good is now confronting the owner in the middle of the day. And their lead singer, I assume, cracks me up. Has to shout his entire dialogue at the guy.
And when he shouts it, he like moves his hands, and then it's as if he's having to think about the things that he wants to do while he's saying it. I can't believe this, point, 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 point. Instead of normal people just like point while they're talking. He's like, and I can't, and you can't, you're a son of a, and I can't, and this, that, and the other. Move to Mark. All right, next line. It's just,
I mean, I love the fact that he opens at 11. He comes walking in the door. I'm mad at you. You got us fired for that dragon sound, bro. And he never modulates. He's in the red the entire time. I love the guy so much. But the plot is not tough to follow. The gangs, however, are. Because somehow, somewhere, the Orlando drug dealers, the Miami cocaine ninjas, and the pissed off band all have like 36 members, and they interact and go back and forth at times, and you never know sometimes which henchmen are pissed off at Dragon Sound. Unless they're wearing ninja outfits, that clarifies things a little bit. But when they're not, forget about it. So the try to follow along now. We see our guys in the white car driving along the streets of Orlando, and they encounter again like 4 other vehicles that block the road, and then 2 come up behind them. So they're surrounded, and everybody stands up in the back of the truck, hangs out the car windows and such, and they bang baseball bats on their fist for like 2 minutes.
there's a lot of mean mugging in this movie. Where people, he's like, hey, I just want you to act mean and menacing, and like the only way they need to do that is by like mimicking what they've seen in other movies. Because I don't believe he gave them any direction. There's a lot of, I don't have dialogue for this scene, but this is what I want you guys to do. And it's just a lot of guys standing around going, yeah. Woo, yeah, let's talk about it. Here we go. I think the worst example of that would be when they're in that the bad guys training facility, and those 3 dudes are standing there, and they're just like talking to themselves.
That scene was golden because
and the girl comes walking through, and the guy goes, because she's like, do you know where John is? He's like, no, what do I look like? I'm from 1962. Haha, cool. And he's like slaps hands and gives a little high five with the shirtless weasel on the side. Like, what? And then, that's all it is. And then the other one, I think, is when the restaurant owner gets jumped, and then he kicks everybody's butt, and then they come back in, and the guy's like, yeah, that was really cool. That was awesome. They're doing like martial art moves where they talk, and it's like, yeah, super fighting. Like that whole scene, every scene like that feels like it was written by a 12-year-old that doesn't know how interactions work socially.
Well, you're talking about an entire cast of people who've never acted before, and now you want them to ad lib.
Yes, you've given them zero direction and your freedom to do what they want. You know,
not exactly how it works. So this scene where they square off, supposedly, like everybody's leaning out and we're going to kill you. We're going to do this. And for 2 minutes, this goes on. It's like, there's 5 guys in a convertible. You could have ended this already. And then eventually one comes up with a can of beer, and he systematically pours it out on each one of their heads. And then they pull the guitar player out from the middle of the back seat. I don't know why they chose him, but okay.
They picked on him throughout the whole film.
Yeah, he was kind of the target of things without an explanation why.
Did he get kidnapped? It was that same dude, right?
Yeah, he was the one that got picked up. And now a street fight ensues, and the 5 guys avail themselves pretty well. Then they run away. Then they start interacting again and kicking ass and taking names and beating people, and there's pipes involved and everything else. And they come out dominant, apparently. They're that good. They're skilled at Taekwondo, damn it. So we cut now to the next day, and this is when we learn something curious. The entire band lives together.
That's what orphans do,
I guess. But damn, that's a lot of time to be spending with people. You live with them, you go to school with them, you're in a band at night with them. These guys are not going to go well in the future. I'm just saying, okay, successful million platinum selling album bands have broken up over less. I mean, they can sing about friendship all they want. This ain't going to last. I'm just saying.
Well, you know why? They're friends through eternity. Loyalty and honesty. We'll stay together through thick or thin. It's right there in the song. They're friends forever, Brad. We'll be together because we're on top because we play to win. I don't understand why you're confused.
Are they a band or are they a cult?
Yes.
Sounds pretty close. So it's at this point in time that we come to learn that Jim, I think he's the keyboard player. We see him on stage, but I don't really see him doing much. So I'm just going with that. But he has daddy issues. He gets a letter and he confesses to everybody in the house that he actually has a father, but he's never met him and he needs to meet him and such. But this causes a bit of friction in the household because all the rest of them are orphans. And
which is one of the best lines in the movie when Mark's the main guy, like him. He goes,
right.
I didn't know you had a father. I thought we were all orphans.
So, apparently, they were going to have a band meeting about this. Hey, we just learned Jim has a parent. Do we want him to keep him in the band or not? I mean, this is literally the vibe that went through the place. It was like, wait, you have a father? Oh, my God. Meeting. I don't know why that caused so much problem, but they got over it, is all I can tell you. So after the beatdown, we're at Jeff's gym, that gymnasium, workout room, whatever the hell it is.
Jeff's gym.
Yeah, there's another J for you, although it's with a J, but still. So we never even hear the name of the band, let alone the members, but the band that got bumped is now showing up at the gym and they go to Jeff and say, listen, we need you guys to take care of this Dragon Sound. We're sick of these guys. They kicked our ass. So you're going to Orlando's big drug kingpin to tell him you want him to take out the rival band so that your house band can go back to the nightclub. And he says to Jeff, I just want to get my job back. I'll pay you whatever we make. So
seems smart.
You're doing this because you just love your art that much. You want your job back, but you don't want to be paid at said job. You just want the glory, not the paycheck. Okay. And Jeff agrees to it. Probably because he hates Dragon Sound because his sister's in that band. So yeah, he tells him, if you get my job back, any money I make is yours. Okay. This is now where we cut to the campus of University of Central Florida, where 3 of our band members, including the leader Mark, are in their white workout martial arts togs. We have a very painfully long extended sequence of him going through the motions, and then they go through their practice battle with each other. At one point, Mark grabs one of their noses with his toes.
And that's like a thing. I think that was something that he did locally. That was like a trick that he would do locally. Though I don't know how you would manage to get somebody to sit still long enough to grab their nose with your toes. But he does it. He does it more than once in the movie.
He does it on stage.
He does it on stage, but he never does it during a fight because he's never barefoot in a fight. But he only does it in training. So what kind of good is that? Like, hey, I'm going to fight you, bad guy, but you're going to stand by a second. I got to take off my right boot.
If I had to guess that this is a display of his supreme balance, so that he could stay on one leg for an extended period of time to reach up, make some fake kicks, and then slowly reach over with his toes and grab the individual's nose, provided they appropriately stand still. It's a skill. It's a martial arts routine. But they're doing a lot of the fake fighting or real fighting. I don't even know what. At one point, they pantomime him turning his back while one comes at him with a knife that he turns and then almost stabs him in the stomach, but stops because this is just training. But thank God they worked on it because that exact thing takes place in the climactic battle. So well trained is all I could say. And then we have the deeply bizarre scene that I sent you a still shot of where Mark, that'd be YK Kim, delivers a fist slowly to his subject's face, and it lands in his mouth in slow motion and stays there.
And I sent you the one right before that where he does the kick. The guy does a spin around before the kick's even thrown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
these guys are not very good at fight choreography.
Well, that's why I didn't know if they were actually fighting or if it was choreography training. Not that it matters, but this is like a 6-minute scene of them not talking and just doing this stuff. We're watching them work out is all we're doing. Okay. But I just take pride in the fact that I actually was at that specific location. And my daughter has pictures somewhere that I'm sure she's deeply proud of me in my martial arts poses at that specific spot on the Commons.
Hey, Steven Seagal has stated that this is his favorite martial arts film, by the way.
Has he?
Did you read that?
I did not.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That explains so much, by the way.
But he's trained in Aikido.
Yeah, but this is his favorite martial arts film. This is ninjas.
And Taekwondo, which Taekwondo is superior to Ninja Hood. I don't know. What do you call it? Ninja training. But Samurai? No, or it's an offshoot of Samurai. I'm not even sure what the hierarchy is in Japanese martial arts. Probably should have done some of the research. I didn't think Steven Seagal was going to come up, however, so you threw me. All right. We now cut to an Orlando diner, and the guy that runs the place, is he in the band or part of it or connected to them or something? Because they mentioned at some point he's not here. He had to work, and then we go to the diner where he's behind.
Yeah, he's wearing a Mickey Mouse apron.
But what's his connection to Dragon Sound?
I have no idea. I couldn't figure that out. But
okay,
he's
not just me.
But that's Richard Park.
Oh, he's the director. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess he just wanted a scene where he could show off his sick moves.
Well, this would be the scene where our individual stands up in the distressing biker shorts, and I don't know, there's like 8 of them in there eating, and they all just like, it wasn't a dine and dash. It was just like, well, we're done. Screw this place. They just decided to stand up and walk out. I'm not sure now which mob this group of 8 are these part of Jeff's crew, I guess?
Yeah.
It wasn't really established, but they go outside, they get confronted by the owner, and they start pushing him around and like, screw you, old man, we're not going to pay you. And then he proceeds to systematically dismantle all of them.
Yes.
He's superior. Now, as this is taking place, Dragon Sound rolls up in their white car, apropos of anything. And they show up, of course, at the end. They can't help because he's already taken care of business. They walk in. Everybody's high-fiving and pantomiming martial arts. Man, you really suck it to them. You showed them guys. And then they go outside later, and there's a note attached to the windshield of the convertible. And
it's folded very intricately.
Well, I think it was supposed to be origami, but it didn't look like
it. It looked more like one of those paper footballs you make when you're in grade school.
Is this supposed to be a toad? What are we doing here? It's not a crane. I don't know. So they unfold it, and he's like, oh no. And then all of a sudden, Jane is there. She wasn't in the car. She wasn't in the diner, but now they're back outside looking at the note, and she's there. And basically, this is Jeff's mob that said, you Dragon Sound sons of bitches have to meet us at the train yard. And
like I said, 12-year-olds called out to fight. Everything is written like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I haven't looked at municipal laws in Orlando, but apparently this is ironclad. If you get challenged on paper to a train yard, you have to honor it.
I was trying to find out where this train yard was because I dispatch trains through Orlando, but I couldn't find where this very specific train yard is located. A lot of this was filmed downtown and on Church Street, so my guess is that that it's around that area, but I could not find it for the life of me.
Well, if you couldn't find it, it might be Amtrak then, and not a freight yard. Possible.
That's possible for sure. I'm not sure. I could not find anything on it at all.
We don't usually have moments in film where train specifics elude you. So I'm a little off balance here.
There's car numbers on the sides of the cars, and I can look to find out where that car is live. But these cars, this is 30 years old. A 30-year-old movie?
Probably 40. 1987, right?
87? Yeah, so those cars are probably long, bad ordered, and destroyed. Probably no longer in service.
You don't have like a record of ownership and location that you keep on file at all times?
Yeah, I can pull up a live location on things.
No, I'm talking past though. Like, where was this car in 1987?
I can go back about a year. And that's it.
Well, you're no good to me then.
I know. I just couldn't find it. It's bothering me that I can't find out where this train yard is.
So they go out to the train yard, all 5 of them, and encounter no fewer than about 40 people ready to pounce on them. As they're driving up, one guy's got a huge pipe, and he takes a swing and can't even hit the car that's going about 15 miles an hour. This guy's not going to make the cut. I think he might be an intern. I don't know. So they get out there, they get challenged, fight breaks out. Big tall goober, again, don't know his name, but I think for at least the 3rd time in the movie, a fight scene takes place where he runs away. And then he cracks me up each time because as he's running, you see him with his head down looking for the mark, stopping, turning, and then engaging in a fight at the appropriate point for the camera to catch him. At one point, he's fighting a guy, and he's actually bent forward with his head looking between his legs while the guy does something because he knew ahead of time he was going to reach through and grab the guy's leg and pull him down. The projected the choreography is what I'm saying here.
Oh, so, yeah, and they're all standing around. The train yard scenes after they've kidnapped the guitar player. Right?
That's when they went to the compound later. They still haven't kidnapped him at this point.
Oh, that's right, because they're fighting in the train yard and they're getting ready to the cops are going to show up and then just say gangs and then leave.
Yeah, the fight only starts and then we start to hear sirens, and so everybody beats cheeks out of there. Cops are coming, and their getaway is so slow and ponderous. Like, we watch as each individual car pulls out. Then we see Dragon Sound's white convertible slowly pull away.
Well, that one dude's driving a looks like an old Volvo with a car LeBron on it.
Yes.
You see that?
1980s. Car bras were all the rage. And they finally get out of there, and then the cops show up, both of them, and they're like, oh, man, we can't believe it. They all left. It's like, how about this, genius? Don't turn your sirens on when you're 5 miles away.
Here they come.
But yeah, so the Orlando Sheriff's Department was befuddled why they couldn't find any ninjas out there. Now, is this when we have the beach scene that made no sense and had no bearing on the movie? They go to Daytona Beach for some reason.
No, that was part of them just starting to get together. That was later or earlier in the film before we ever got to this point.
Okay. I mean, it really didn't matter. They drove the car on the beach for a while. And then what do you say? They don't make buns like that down at the bakery is one of the lines that comes out of there. Yeah, they're trying to hit on girls in bikinis all over the place. Mustachioed mullet guy.
And that one dude is making out with Jane, except in real life, Jane and the guitar player who wrote the songs together, they were dating. And so during the makeout session scene, to keep things from being uncomfortable, they sent him out for beer.
Your craft services today.
Yep, go get some beer. Oh, by the way, I found it. I know why it's not a rail yard.
Oh,
it's right now it's in Central Parkway, Florida. It's a place called Messer, Messer. So I don't know what they do. It looks like a chemical company of some sort. But there's railroad tracks for their location, but it's not a rail yard, so to speak.
Oh, I see. So it's probably they get their delivery there by rail.
Right. Which is why I couldn't find it that way.
Yeah, it was kind of like that at Budweiser. We had actually tracks right in back of the warehouse because they used to deliver beer that way. And they just go forklift right into the truck and into the train car and pull the beer up. That is until hijacking became all the rage.
Yeah, I've been hijacked.
I mean, they would like Jacksonville's brewery would send them down to us, and there'd be 7 rail cars and 6 would show up. We're missing like 20% of the order here. And this was on the regular to the point they were like, screw it, just 2 trucks.
No, I was on a train when it got hijacked 3 years ago.
There you go.
We got robbed, son. It was one of the last few railroad robberies in the United States. I had the police show up. They droned the train, cleared it, had dogs out there, told us not to get off the train. Had people at the very back of the train cut a hole in the back of a rail car, and they were cutting out catalytic converters and tossing them out the side.
Nice. Look at you. Drama.
By the way, it's storming here, and my lights just flickered. So if something happens and I disappear, the ninjas found me.
Yeah. Okay.
Just so you know.
We'll keep that in mind. If there's been a hit, we'll send some notice out.
If I suddenly disappear from talk, it's because my internet connection literally just reset on me. Everything just flickered in the house.
Now go with the ninjas. That's a better story. Better story than what we're dealing with here too, because after the fight scene, we see the ninja cocaine bikers have returned to Orlando and hang out with a biker gang for about 10 minutes of screen time. I mean, it just keeps going. It's like random camera shots of a crowd of bikers. Every so often we see the ninjas hanging out with them and high-fiving or something, and then more bikers. And it's just like a camera guy went to Sturgis and just shot B-roll. And that was in the movie for 5 to 10 minutes. No dialogue, nothing happened.
And does nobody in this movie know how to drink? Every cup is held backwards and poured into their mouth, like in an awkward angle. Nobody's got their hand like to the right. It's on top of the cup and then poured it back. You know what I'm saying? Did you notice that? All of them.
I did. I'm just like, I kept checking my watch. Like, are we still doing this? I'm watching people hanging out. And then we also had that breakfast scene inside the house where they're milling around and feeding grapes to each other and reading mail.
And I didn't understand why that scene even existed. Because
there's so many of them in this movie. It's like,
and they're filled with bikers, right? And so the biker women just start like lifting their shirts and stuff. And one of them lifts her shirt at the bar, and then Mark just turns around. You know, YK Kim just turns around and puts his arm around her and starts pulling her close. And I'm like, it feels a little rapey. What's? I mean, like, what is happening with you there, Mr. Kim?
It's good to be the producer.
I guess so.
I told you you'd be in a movie. What do you got for me? But this is the part I love too about this. They go to breakfast. They're at breakfast in the house. Again, very lengthy scene. Next, we see them, all 5 of them, walking out of class wearing UCF t-shirts, including the 35-year-old Mark. And then they all get in the car and they go to lunch. It's like, we just did this. What's going on here? But finally, we get to something key happening. The 4 of them go in and start ordering food while the guitar player parks the car, and he promptly gets kidnapped.
And nobody sees him getting kidnapped.
we have drama suddenly. We have a plot, guys. Okay, so he gets taken over to their gym, and he gets, I guess, roughed up a bit. We see him on the floor. He gets kicked. He's tied up, bleeding, all kinds of drama. And now Dragon Sound has to hit the compound. This is the big climax. This is the drama. Well, no, it's actually, we have two climaxes pretty much. So, I mean, this is a very lengthy scene of them creeping up almost in ninja-like fashion in the middle of the night. This compound is sprawling, and he's got to have like 50 guys, and they're up on top of girders that are 30 feet in the air, staggered, because, you know, in case somebody comes swooping in on a parachute. I don't know. What do you...
And they're holding big pieces of rebar with like other small pieces of rebar welded to the side of it as for like weapons. Like suddenly we've moved into post-apocalyptic scenes from the Warriors.
And meanwhile, Jeff is like situated somewhere else, could give a rat's ass on what's going on for the most part. He's like, just go out there and guard. And then the ninjas come creeping up. Jim at one point is brandishing PVC pipe. That's his weapon. Like, pull this out of an outhouse. How is that your weapon? Okay, whatever. But they systematically get the drop on everybody. They infiltrate properly. They get their guitar player back. It's happy news now. The band is back together. And we're back at the house now, and Jim gets a letter in the mailbox. I tell you this because the scene is very elaborately shot in that we stand there with him at the mailbox for about 3 minutes while he opens a letter, reads a letter, and then the entire gang comes out to see what he's reading. And he says, "Oh my God, I found my father." in a voice even higher than that. That's the best I can do. And he's happy. The band is ecstatic. He's like, he's like, I should be happy. Okay, I found my father. Meanwhile, the bandmates are like, I can't believe this is awesome. And they're high-fiving and just bursting with joy that he found his father that he's never met before. I don't even know what the letter said. Just like, hey, Jim, we found your dad. He's over there. So the guys pool their money together to bring Jim to a Men's Warehouse and buy him a brand new suit and tie to meet his father. Okay. I guess this is what orphans think you have to do when you meet a parent because they've never done it before. I'm thinking, I don't know.
Yep.
So they get them all gussied up.
They're all orphans. They're not used to it. They don't know what to do. Hey,
you're meeting your dad. You got to have a 3-piece suit that costs $200. But as they're taking him to his father, they turn a corner and there's 20 motorcycles blocking the roadway. Ninjas. It's the Miami Cocaine Ninjas.
It's the Ninjas, which sounds like a great name for like a arena football team. The Miami Cocaine or a roller derby.
The Miami Ninjas.
Cocaine Ninjas, the Miami Cocaine Ninjas.
Now at the War Memorial Auditorium, Saturday at 4 p.m.
Ninjas.
Playing the Jacksonville Stampede, the rail yard workers.
Come out on Samurai Sword Night. Get yourself it's Katana Night here for the Ninjas.
Bring the kids and get a foam katana with the logo on the side. Miami Ninjas.
Oh, foam katana. I was thinking a real one, like a small one, like you would get for like a bottle.
Oh, Paul, there's going to be lawyers involved. Come on. So,
throw a knife at your opponent. Win $1,000.
Throwing stars at halftime. So
I got some information about this final scene, by the way. I'm gonna share it to you when you get down to it.
All right. Well, this basically is our final confrontation in which everybody spreads out into the woods and the streams, and katana fights take place on a regular basis.
Now, understand here that this scene was filmed in Azalea Park, right? They filmed in the whole Azalea Park. They spent a considerable portion of the film's budget on clearing the creek of alligators before filming. But the park isn't known for alligators. So they spent a bunch of the money on the scene clearing an animal that didn't exist there. Wow. He must not like alligators. Yeah, we're gonna make sure before we film in this. Water they're running around in is like what, ankle deep? Maybe just a little bit higher than that. There's not an alligator living in that, and it's below a bridge. They're not trolls. They like open water area. They like to swim, not crawl slowly through the water.
I think YK Kim got taken by a local.
Yeah. Hey,
you can't shoot there until all those alligators are cleared out. So
it was probably one of the guys at the bar when he was drinking and getting high with all the dirt. And one guy goes, "So I hear you're filming a scene down in Azalea. What you gonna do about all the alligators?" Like, George, alligators? Yeah, there's alligators. Yeah, you got to get the alligators out of there. I could do it for you, and I'd be giving you a deal at like $45,000. It's costing me money to clear the alligators out at $45,000, but I would do it for you because you're one of us now. Toss me a beer.
I'll get the gators out, and I'll position myself at one end of the stream, and one of my partners on the other end, and we'll keep them out while you're shooting. You're welcome. Where's the check? Thank you.
Yeah, I got your back, buddy. I'm with you. It's you and me, Mark, all together. Friends forever.
YK, I think they took you there, son. No gators. They do a good job.
It's like the TSA. I bet the same people went on to invent the TSA.
Yeah. So basically,
no terrorists. The TSA works.
We just see it's an extended fight scene, and we see the ninjas systematically get picked off one by one by our 5 Taekwondo people, including big, tall, goofy guy who, runs away and then stops. At one point, he takes a katana to the back. You see a nice little gash in there. A lot of money was spent here, too, on special effects.
And then he takes his shirt off and is never affected by the gash ever again.
And at one point, he gets a hold of a katana, hits a ninja, and the guy promptly sprays blood into his face for about 15 seconds.
In slow motion. And he gets hit in the face by the other guy's katana, but that doesn't seem to affect him either. Here's some fun facts about this. All right. So Kim wanted to refilm some of this because in the original filming, Jim dies, right? And then so they said that was too much. It was too sad. It wasn't enough. So he wanted to reshoot it. Except Park had already gone back to Korea. And he had never, and Kim had never filmed or written anything. So he read a book on how to film, on how to direct movies. Except he also enlisted one of his co-stars to help him, and he didn't have any writing experience. So Diamond also read books on how to write movies. And then they went and they filmed it. Except the guy that was filming the part of Yoshido, the white ninja, he was already gone. He was all unavailable. So they had to bring in some other dude from the movie to play the white ninja in the scene that they refilmed and reshot after learning how to film and what he basically did was watch a YouTube video on how to make a movie and then film the rest of his movie off the information he got on a YouTube video.
Nice. Yeah, this whole thing it was just kind of ponderous, and for some reason we do not do Taekwondo anymore. It's just katana fighting. And he squares off at the end. We get down to the white leader and one ninja who crawls up to the white leader who is sitting cross-legged and hasn't participated in the fight whatsoever. And the other ninja says, "Sir, we've lost everybody. We're down to just us." And white leader takes his blade out and chops the guy's head off because he's upset at that information. Talk about shooting the messenger.
Just so you know, that is the exact same body double they use with the missing head from the first beginning of the film.
Hey,
where he cuts the other guys, where he cuts the other ninjas' head. So it's reused. Some would consider it a callback, maybe. You can consider it a callback because what's about to happen at the end of this film is also a callback.
Yeah, so we got YK and the white ninja squaring off, And spoiler alert, Taekwondo dominates. And now in the course of all of this too, Jim got run through with a katana. Pretty jarring, actually. I was like, holy crap, they took out Jim. They are going for melodrama. Look at that. But pickup scene, we see him in the backseat of the convertible, bleeding like a sumbitch. And YK is almost crying. Looked like he was trying to act. And instead of dying, they get him to a hospital where everybody's pensively waiting in the waiting room with his father. I say father with quotation marks because the actor is younger than Jim, but he's got powder applied to his afro and mustache.
Yes.
I actually thought it was Jim, the actor that played Jim, doing it, but then we actually see a scene with the two of them together.
And I forgot how big glasses were back in the late 80s because the doctor's glasses are gigantic, and he's got a glasses holder in his front vest pocket that's weighing his whole shirt down. And Jim's dad's glasses are just like giant Coke bottles.
And that doctor was so painfully amateur. It was like, oh, the surgery went well, and he is all good and fine. And
a lot of bleeding. Cut wasn't deep. But here's the part, bro. Jim, they didn't refilm Jim getting hurt. They just filmed an ending to make it seem as if Jim did get hurt as bad. So in the original movie, his entrails are coming out.
Yeah,
Jim has got been cut deep, and then the doctor just goes, "Oh, it was merely a flesh wound. It was a flesh wound. Lots of blood, but nothing deep. He's good. In fact, he could go home with you right now. Just keep an eye on him for the rest of the night.
Yeah. We put everything back and stitched him up. He should be good.
Just a flesh wound."
And so, and the scene where he meets his father for the first time, it's like, I love you, Dad. Well, son, I love you too.
It's like they've never spoken.
Which is appropriate, actually. And then, everybody in the group is like, yes, and we're happy for the both of you. And then all 5 of them turn to the camera and they're walking down the hallway towards the camera. There's our movie. Happy ending?
Finn.
So that's our third film enshrined in our Mount Rushmore of bad films, Miami Connection. I cannot recommend this movie enough. You have to go check it out. It's for free on Fossum, on Tubi, on Plex.
I watched
pretty much whatever fast service you got, you should be able to find it. This thing is glorious. This thing is beautiful. I love it. And just the fact that it takes place entirely in our state, I love it even more for it.
And we got one more we need to pick.
We got 2 more, actually.
Was it 2? Then we have time for Hard Ticket to Hawaii. That might have to be discussed.
Well, now it's going to go to 6. The mountain ain't that big. We got to figure out what to do here, but not a problem. But we're going to deliberate. As you can see, it takes a while to carve this stuff into stone anyway. So we've got a couple of weeks to work on it. So, Paul, why don't you let people know where they can find more of your stuff?
Find me on Zitter at Movie Paul. And I just uploaded a new video to TikTok today. It's a little throwback to my childhood.
Look at you on the tick and the talk. How about that?
I'm telling you what.
As for myself, you can see me covering the media over at townhall.com. I got a daily column there. Also on the front page of Red State, spitting out the content on the regular. And I got a podcast there called Liable Sources, where I go even deeper into explaining the problems with our media and press in this country. Also, you can hear me right here at KLRN some more. Next Thursday, it's going to be me and Ordy Packard as we go through vital entertainment information, the business side of the show and stuff of that nature on the Culture Shift. And every Tuesday night at 8:30, I'm here with the ever effervescent Aggie Rican on the Cocktail Lounge. It's our fun little news show where we bring lighthearted entertainment news items and talk about all kinds of stuff, sports and drinking and art, and politics a little bit, whatever. We try to have fun and distract you. And if you need more of me, of course you do, head over to Jitter. You'll find me at Martini Shark. All right, Paul. We're gonna have to deliberate for a couple of weeks. Come up with 2 more to enshrine there on the mountainside.
Yes, we will.
So we're gonna noodle it out, put our skulls together on that one, and then come back in 2 weeks for the big reveal as we bring more badness for you right here on Disasters in the Making.
You know, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure why you guys are worried about the size of your movie Mount Rushmore. You guys are making it out of mashed potatoes anyway.
It's true. He's right. He has a point.
A Richard Dreyfuss callback. How about that?